Hey, what's going on, everybody? Paul here, coming at you with the Crypto Coffee update. I got the news, the conferences, the events. You can see here I'm on. Wait, no, it's that way. Yeah, Crypto Panic. That's my favorite news aggregation sites where I get all the news for you guys. And I got the coffee. I got my tomato mug today, so Mater time. Little too cold for tomatoes, but whatever. It just holds the coffee. And it does a good job. So, yeah, with that said, we got some great news for you today. Some interesting tidbits, some, I guess you could call them tragic tidbits, but nonetheless, we'll unpack that momentarily. Let's start off with a big positive. Happy birthday to Bitcoin. Woo, woo. Satoshi Nakamoto's baby made it to 10 years old, a decade in the crypto space. And you can see here the note that was left in the Genesis block, which is the first block on the Bitcoin blockchain. The Times, 3rd of January, 2009, Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. So, pretty self-evident here why Satoshi Nakamoto created Bitcoin. It's right in the title of the white paper, peer-to-peer electronic cash. And is it perfect? No. Does it have a lot of flaws? Absolutely. But is it a quantum leap ahead in terms of peer-to-peer finance? Undoubtedly. So, Satoshi, if you're out there, highly doubt you're ever going to watch this. And if you do, congratulations, for one. Two, here's to another 10 years. 2000? Yeah, 2018? 2028. That's what it'll be. Wow, time flies. 2028. Heck yeah. Let's get there, guys. So with that said, we're going to shift gears here and talk a little bit about doing your own research in the crypto space. I know that's something we never talk about here at Cryptide, but it's very related to a happening of the day. Oyster Pearl, PRL, the smart contract was breached. That's the why. The how. The anonymous dev Bruno, completely anonymous, he restarted the ICO sale and bought millions of Pearl tokens at the ICO price, subsequently sold them on the KuCoin exchange a day before their KYC was implemented, and made off like a bandit with about $300,000, leaving the team without a head dev, leaving the project with very little confidence left, and leaving a lot of people scratching their heads about how this kind of thing could happen. What we're going to do here today is unpack what happened, why it happened, and just talk a little bit about doing your own research and how it fits into us here at Cryptide. So, Oyster Pearl, a little bit about what it wanted to do and what it partially succeeded in doing, perhaps, before this debacle. Files uploaded via Oyster are stored on the IOTA Tangle. Essentially, it allows users to dedicate a small amount of their CPU or GPU to storing users' files on the decentralized anonymous ledger. Think of it like a sort of like a Siacoin meets basic attention token, right? So really unique use case. It's built on the IOTA Tangle, so really unique application there. And yeah, that's before any of this broke. Keep in mind this is during the major bull run, so a lot of projects that maybe didn't have the best team or the most applicable use case were getting started around this time. It was almost impossible to not raise, max hard cap for your ICO. Everybody was throwing money everywhere. Well, yeah, a completely anonymous dev kicked this off. Just keep that in mind. And an update onto what happened. I think this is the best summary thus far of the events and situation. You can see here $300,000 worth of Pearl tokens sold on KuCoin November 1st. That was the day, that was the day KuCoin was going to implement their KYC procedures. And Bruno Block, the guy's name was Bruno Block, the anonymous head dev, definitely not his real name. He as I said, he transferred the Pearl tokens after activating the smart contract and sold them, and that's all they know thus far. They're asking for help in the investigation. They're saying that the team was really caught off guard. They're really not sure. Just, they're processing through it, basically. This is not something that a team expects to wake up and find. It was even executed at a time where most of the Pearl staff and most of the KuCoin staff were asleep. So Bruno had this constructed and planned ahead of time, no doubt. How this was taken, how this was undertaken. You see the name Oyster Pearl here. So it's just a string. This is the smart contract. We went to read contract. It was provided by this gentleman here. It's the etherscan.io address for Oyster Pearl. Read method 13, sale closed, and method 18, director lock. Oh, before we get into this specifically, did nobody read the smart contract? Yes, they did. This is something that audits, yep. Despite Oyster passing 3 separate smart contract audits. So they were audited. They did go through the necessary procedures to ensure that their contract was secure. But they trusted Bruno. They said, hey, well, we'll just leave basically what Bruno says that needs to be open, we'll leave it open. And that's what you see here. That's what's being discussed here on line 13. False. Sale closed. So the sale closed, false. Meaning the sale closed is still, it's false. So the sale is still ongoing. It's still open. And number 18, director lock, false. So director access is open. It's able to be accessed. So sales still going on, still able to be accessed by a director. Not the best state of affairs. And this is public information. Read contract here, open to everybody. And how this applies to Cryptide. How this ultimately, oh, that's irrelevant. How this ultimately applies to Cryptide. We here at Cryptide always drive home, do your own research. And this is the reason ultimately that we do not hammer home a lot of these relatively new projects. Because even if they seem sound, even if they seem airtight, there is a propensity for things to go wrong. It said the road to hell is paved with the best intention. That's not saying that this team is really trying to build a road to hell or anything like that. What it means is individuals with the best intentions sometimes can be blinded to some of the detriments that surround them, including but not limited to an anonymous developer who's telling you to keep your smart contract open. That's the sort of thing that doing your own research can potentially avoid. You're never going to get it perfect 100% of the time, but we here at Cryptide, our main goal is to keep not only the best quality of information consistently flowing to you guys out there to help you do your own research, because again, none of this is financial advice, just trying to get the information in the hands of you guys. But we also want to make sure that when we bring something to the community's attention, we empower you with something that we know for a fact is airtight, something that maybe it's not going to go 10x in the next year, maybe it's never going to go 100x, but it's a stable, secure financial tool being developed by real people in the real economy. Technical analysis isn't going to do you any good here. It just drops off. Why? Because this is Oyster Pearl's chart. It's predicated on fundamental, real economic factors, such as a major breach of security that was completely planned by the head dev. So really what we're looking for here at Cryptide, what I'm looking for here as Paul, trying to get the best information out here, just voluntarily, I'm looking for something that is moving up in a sustainable fashion, setting sustainable price floors because it has real applicability to real people in the real economy and is being developed actively with a novel use case, something that is a stable vehicle that represents financial benefit to the wider human society and the wider crypto space. So that helps to hopefully clear up what we're looking at here at Cryptide and why. Let's go ahead and get into the rest of the news before transitioning out into the happenings for October 31st, Spoop Day, and November 1st. We're getting into the last leg of the year, guys. Exciting holiday times are upon us. So Bitcoin is anything but useful, says ex-Federal Reserve Chair Harvey Birdwoman, Janet Yellen. So this is really interesting, especially coming from one of the top financial authorities in the land. Perhaps the emperor has no clothes. I'm really sorry for that image. I didn't think of that before I just said that. It's long been thought that for something to be a useful currency, it needs to be a stable source of value, and Bitcoin's anything but. That is not a characteristic of a currency. That is a characteristic of money. So Janet Yellen is conflating her terms here. This is from the Hidden Secrets of Money, Money versus Currency with Mike Maloney. If you haven't seen this, consider this my Christmas gift. Please watch it. Share it with your friends and families. This is a fantastic series that lets just the layman, any individual out there, your grandmother could absorb this and understand what's going on with the financial system. Fantastic, well-composed, straightforward, and just as layman as can be with great visual examples. Here's what we got. Currency and money, they share a lot of characteristics. Medium of exchange, unit of account, portable, durable, divisible, fungible. However, money is a store of value. Currency is not. That is very important. And someone should probably tell Janet Yellen that, because this is what the US dollar looks like. This is not a stable form of capital. This is currency. This is not money because it is not a stable form of value. The dollars in your pocket, if you have any, they're just currency. They're not money. So Janet Yellen's statement that for something to be useful as a currency, it needs to be a stable source of value, that's just not true. Just plain outright, maybe she misspoke. Maybe she conflated the two terms accidentally, or maybe the emperor has no clothes. That's neither here nor there, just an interesting observation. And here's an inflation calculator. I also wanted to bring this up. If something cost you $20 in 2018, then it would cost in 1913, the year that the Federal Reserve was established. That's why this chart goes back to 1913. It would only cost you 78 cents, which means we have had a depreciation of 96% purchasing power in the US dollar. That is literally worse than Oyster Pearl the day after a major hack. That's pretty humorous. Also, your boy, Papa Paul, Ron Paul, the man, 2008 should have been his. He says that cryptocurrencies should be exempt from tax, just like exempt them completely, because they're fantastic for innovation. For those of you who don't know, Ron Paul, fantastic U.S. congressman. He is a huge proponent of individual freedoms, one of the just bastions of human liberty in the U.S. political scene today. Is all about ending the Federal Reserve in its entirety and bringing back sovereign, stable money to the people. So Ron Paul is a hero. Here's a quote from him. Quote, "Central banks constantly increase and decrease the money supply in an attempt to control the economy by controlling the interest rates, which causes individuals to misread market conditions, leading to misallocation of resources, and it also gives the illusion of prosperity." I think we can all, to some degree, empathize with the illusion of prosperity, where it feels like you're kind of running the rat race that is life, yet your quality of life isn't going up per se. Well, part of that may very well be because of forces like this. So we've touched on some fantastic topics here today, guys. I really enjoy these segments now that I got the webcam. I feel like I'm really able to kind of let my personality show through. Let me know what you think in the comments. You know, were you tired of my big head floating up there? Did you like the snippets of information in the previous episodes more so? Yeah, just love your feedback. Absolutely appreciated. Would you rather see like the guinea pigs, or they a little fuzzball? All right, enough joking around. Let's go ahead and get into the happenings for October 31st, Wednesday. Only thing we have is the World CryptoCon Las Vegas, happening in Las Vegas, of course. Moving on to November 1st, Thursday, we have Malta Blockchain Summit happening in Malta, the 2018 Crypto Connection happening in New York, and the 2018 Global Power and Energy Blockchain Conference happening in sunny Orlando, Florida. That's all we have for November 1st, Thursday, and for this Crypto Coffee update. As said, thanks so much, guys. Let me know what you think of this below in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. I read every comment and try to reply to every single one with something meaningful and heartfelt. As usual, links below in the description, of course, because DYOR, everything you saw today will have a link that you can access and check behind me, as well as a list of B-list tokens. They're fine projects, most of them, some more reputable than others, but I give you guys the information so you can decide what's best for you, all in one convenient place. So for now, thanks so much for watching. Seriously, love you guys. My name is Paul. We are Cryptide. Do your own research, by the way, and remember the tide is rising, as is the size of these videos. Compression.